Hello everyone and welcome to another video. This is part 2 of the Yokai Watch 3 Lightning Attribute Only with all the great post-game content and also the finale of the Lightning Only series. I won't go over the rules again as I covered them in part 1, but they will be in the description for those who haven't seen it. Let's now get back into the run. Not sure whether to go for S rank watch first or... I might as well go for S rank watch first actually. What? Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you flipping kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? Don't worry, chat, I'll be right back, just filling out my water bottle. I started by doing Ambrosia Pavilion when this happened. For those unaware, Brutal is a really rare yokai, exclusive to Ambrosia Pavilion. I'll link a video by Intercactus with more details on Ambrosia Pavilion in the description if you want to learn more. But basically, I have been trying to get Brutal most days since the game released, over 6 years ago. And I even started a short series where I tried to get him every day. Now you may have seen the video where I finally got him on my main save, but that was after this. I had people commenting on my short series saying they got him within the first 10 attempts without even knowing that he's rare, and I thought there's no way that's true, right? Until this. The worst part is I can't even use him because he's ice attribute. To this day I still can't believe it took me over 6 years to get Brutal on my main file, yet I got him here when I wasn't even trying to get him. Anyway, since this is post game, I can now use the Crankai, and I managed to get Topan Yan named Lemonade, which also means I can start training Origin Yan so he can be Lightning Attribute. I then tried to get Coma Star, but couldn't access the area yet, so I just assumed I needed the S rank watch for it. So that's what I did. Eat an Amazing Milk, Golden Doll, and Swirly Soul. Amazing Milk you can just buy from the hot springs. The Golden Doll, if you don't already have one or sold it, you can get from the Evermart in Breezy Hills with the Snobbity Baffle board. A Swirly Soul has 2 ways of getting it. First is through Blaster's Tea. I wasn't prepared for Blaster's Tea or even bothered to do it right now, so that's out of the question. The other way is from Jungle Hunter. Should be easy, right? You can just buy the fish. Oh wait, they removed that from this game. So you have to manually catch 2,000 points worth of bugs and fish. The best way to grind this as far as I know is the big fish tank in Yoppel, as the fish there give more points in other areas and they're more common. Boy am I glad I was told you can use the A button instead of the touchscreen for fishing, because otherwise this would have been 50 times more annoying. Worst part is, I couldn't really read chat all that much since you really need to pay attention when catching fish. I get they want to change fishing to make it different for bug catching, but it's so much more annoying and takes 10 times longer than it would have in Yokai Watch 1. At least in Yokai Watch 2 you could buy fish for points. It took about an hour, but I finally got the Swirly Soul. I then got Snobbity for the Baffle board in order to get a Golden Doll, and we finally now have the S rank watch. Now to get Coma Star. Oh wait, why is it still blocked? Chat was telling me to talk to Blunder and Folly, but they weren't there. I looked up and apparently need to go to Nate's BBQ house. I tried sleeping and even switching to Haley, and oh, now it's magically not blocked. I'm assuming it was something to do with the cutscene in Nate's BBQ house. Anyway, we finally got Coma Star, who we named Zero, and then Platinos, who we named Metallics. And they replaced Player 2 and Unclean. Told you that they'd get immediately replaced. Then I did Hazy Lane and got to 4,029 meters. Then did the Venoct quest, or went to Mount Wildwood, defeat for yokai, then battled and befriended him. We called him Sonicu and decided not to use him, as I already used him in both Yokai Watch 1 and 2, and wanted to prioritize new yokai. I mainly did this quest and unlocked the Luminoct quest, which we did next. I went back to Mount Wildwood, and before I could battle and befriend him, I need to do another quest first, which involved defeating all evil and befriending him. Now we can battle and befriend Illuminoct, and we named him Goku. If you watch Yokai Watch 2 Lightning Only, you'd know how important Illuminoct is. As well as being a really strong S rank and my second favourite yokai, Illuminoct has a really good healing and spirit, and a skill that heals linked yokai, which gives us a way of healing with our items, which will be really useful for the Tower of Enlightenment, where you can't use items. It's probably up here. Treasure map? Oh. Okay. There you go. Yeah, imagine, yeah, like, who's... Yeah, you know, when you think about it, someone must have just left their just apartment keys just lying in this old mansion. And some random kid just picks them up. It's really weird when you think about it. I started by doing Ambrosia Pavilion, then going to the Grand Kai to try and get Ornyan. And of course it's first prize up when I don't even want first prize. But I managed to get him anyway, and we called him Sonic Chew. I don't question my live chat anymore. I then started the movie 3 quest, where I went to school, skipped some cutscenes, booped Kualanyan's nose a couple times, and fought Narwhal. Similarly to Head of Steam in Yokai Watch 2, Narwhal is always the first boss I do in the post game of Yokai Watch 3. Narwhal isn't too bad, mainly because he's weak to lightning, but he was doing a lot of damage. Whaleman similarly wasn't too bad, but I did kill a few yokai with his bubbles, turning my yokai into fish. Like Head of Steam, these fights would usually be more difficult as first post game fights, but like I said, these two are weak to lightning, so that made them much easier. I then did Hazy Lane, where I did manage to find Master Odin, and we named him Koga, and we got to 5,034 meters. I then did the Dual quest, where I rounded up some rabbits, then went to the abandoned tunnel. Dual went as normal, targeting the head because I still don't fully understand the wisp gimmick. Still pretty easy though. I do wish he and Chirpster were stronger in Yokai Watch 2 and 3 like in 1, but I guess understandable that they wanted more optional bosses accessible during the main story. Speaking of, now it's time for the Chirpster quest. I chased Lyrebird through the old mansion and fought him. It was then time for the Chirpster battle, which was even easier, though his ultimate did do quite a lot of damage. I then walked around to find some Yo criminals. I caught Koma Sham and no Masmutter yet. I then did the Robinyan quest, where I fought Robinyan and Robinyan F, then finally Robinyan 28, who was about as difficult as you'd expect. I didn't bother doing the quest beyond that as there aren't any more bosses, and Ultimate Robinyan isn't lightning anyway. I was going to do the Plungeros quest next, but it wasn't showing up yet and the chat told me I need to beat Gargos first. Considering how weak the Onis are in this game, I probably could have done it, but I was saving the Onis for later. The rest of the stream was spent grinding Gate Globes. Luckily, you only need 63 Gate Globes instead of the 105 required for Yokai Watch 2, so I managed to get them all in a bit over half a stream. During this, someone in chat asked what they missed, and we proceeded to make up stuff like Akihiro Hino himself came into the stream and announced Yokai Watch 5, or that I pulled a Mr. Beast and gave away a load of stuff. What you probably don't know is that all this stuff did actually happen on a stream that's now private, but true OGs will remember. The cult lore also developed a bit more here with a new member, Winter Paladin, or Spring Knight now. This was probably the point I stopped paying attention to the cult lore and I couldn't tell you what was going on other than who was involved and the fact that there are several cults. One more thing happened. Right, like he made a... oh, there it is. There we go. There's terror time. I'm waiting for that. Oh, it's Ogreless. Ogreless. Hang on. That's good to know. I didn't know you could get Ogreless before beating Gargos. That's weird though, I've never seen that happen before, Ogreless appearing before Gargos. I'm way too under level, chat. You think I'm gonna be able to beat him? No. What? Why did the whiff sound effect play? What? Oh no, that was because... Yeah, you think I'm beating him, right? Yeah. Should be easy, right? Easy fight. Yeah? No. Still no idea how this happened. I hadn't even fought Gargos since Terratime's introduction in this game, so I don't know why this happened. If this is just a thing that can happen, then I've never seen it or heard anyone talk about it before. Cold drink would hit the spot. Booth Key 1. I love drinking Booth Key 1. That's my favorite drink. Do you guys also love drinking Booth Key 1? Anyway, where's Ballin? No point in doing Ambrosia Pavilion anymore since I now have Ornyan and Topinyan, so I went straight to Greenfields to do Hazy Lane. I also no longer need to do Hazy Lane instead of Skulk because I have Master Odin now, so I just tried making the exit closer, but I still got to 7979 meters. Now time to fight Skulk. Skulk wasn't too bad, but I did end up killing Goku. Off to the Pearly Chamber of Whimsy. Whimsical shopping I almost did first try, but I failed at last jump. Whimsical work was similarly easy, and I even accidentally befriended a second put a sock in it named Socket. Whimsical quiz was by far the easiest. What is an improved version of Staminum? It's Staminum. Yeah, it's Staminum, right guys? That's an item. Staminum. I love Staminum. Whimsical drilling was mostly fine, but I accidentally drilled the wrong block and I had to fight a level 99 Terrapotta. I feel it wasn't too challenging, but... Okay, I've just realised I put iPhone in the script when I meant Tornado. Tornado wasn't too challenging, but I felt it wasn't really easy either. I mean, he was doing his ultimate a lot and killed Yokai a few times. Now there's one more thing I want to do before Blaster's Tea. Zombie Night. Now, I say at this point, I'm pretty decent at Zombie Night, ignore what happened in part 1, as this is the third time I'm beating it. Despite this, obviously I still need full focus and can't read chat. So the chat did what they do best to entertain themselves for the hour that this took. Cult lore. Cult lore was still growing, but this was a stream I'd say that had the biggest impact on cult lore so far. Like, there's actual backstory and everything. That's when I knew this had become much more than a simple live chat joke. I also got Essence of Evil from Zombie Night, and of course chat wouldn't stop asking me to get Groblappa, so I did. Anyway, I beat both Hollow Guards relatively easily and ended the stream. Should run. Heal yourself. I thought now is a good time for Blaster's Tea. I had done most things I wanted to do first. Ideally I also would have done Mass Mutcher and Plundros, but I had to wait for New York Criminals to fight Mass Mutcher, and I thought you need to beat Gargos for Plundros, and wanted to do that after Blaster's Tea. Turns out I just need an item, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, I managed to get Eldorago from a treasure coin off stream. I didn't bother naming him yet because I wasn't sure if I'd use him, and it was too much effort to befriend Wazat for the battle board right now, when I'd be doing that later anyway. Anyway, I went round the back of Nate's BBQ house in this weird basement thing. For the team I had Goku as my main fighter, Koga and Sonichu as healers, and Matinya so I can go straight to the exit. Using 2 healers is a great strategy for late game dungeons. Keyword late game. As you'll see in a bit, it is not a good idea to use 2 healers until then. Anyway, Yell's Kitchen was decently easy, as usual, and we discovered the Cluvian Keyhole. Made our way through Cluvian Keyhole 1 up to fight Junkernaut, and it did not go well. Still though, right? Like, I couldn't have escaped there. But they could have, but they didn't. They decided to stand in the middle of Jungle Angel, so help please. Don't stand there, revive me! Why are you standing there? Hello? Can you revive me please, instead of standing there? He's just standing there. Help please? You're just standing there. What? Attempt 2. I leveled up a bit, and attempt 3. One is dead. And I'm almost dead. At this point I realised that 2 healers is a terrible strategy until late game. It didn't help that both Sonichu and Matian were a bit lower level compared to Goku and Koga. So I switched out Solitude for Metallics and Matinyan for Unclean, and boom, easy, first try. I decided to do the Suspicious Room again in hopes of unlocking another area, and no new dungeons. Though I did find the Tower of Clue for Forbidden and Ore dungeons, as well as the Clue Finks, which gives us 3 new dungeons normally in the overworld. I decided to just unlock all the areas off stream because it's boring doing Suspicious Room over and over. Also note that Cutler was going on in the chat again. Cluvian Keyhole 2 and 3 were nothing noteworthy. I remember there's an aura that reveals the location of the stairs, so I could just use that instead of Matinyan, unless I wanted to use another aura. At the end of Cluvian Keyhole 4, we fought our first Blaster's T exclusive boss, Maiden Ruin, who was decently challenging, which wasn't helped by the fact that I was one team member down. I decided to end it there so I can lock the rest of the dungeons off stream so we can just do them all right away. I think I'm soft locked. I mean, I can switch, but I can't do anything. Alright, there we go. That was weird. He's Illuminox just soft locked. He's still soft locked. Wait, what? He's still just, yeah. It's funny. Standing there. Oh. No. Oh, he's normal again. Okay, cool. It's kind of funny. I wanted to know what he would have been like when fighting the bosses. But well, I'm not complaining. So I unlocked all the other dungeons, and as I said, I went straight to Tomb of King Clutharon. Fought Telltale in Tomb of King Clutharon 1. 2 and 3 were nothing interesting, and we fought Supermanager at the end of 4. Temple of Clusis 1 had us fight Spronk, and we fought Handsful in Temple of Clusis 5, who I barely had to dodge. Cutler invented a new thing called Crest, and to be honest, I still don't really know exactly what they are other than they grant abilities. We fought Gargos in Search of Clunibus 1. For Search of Clunibus 4, I decided to go with an aura that boosts Clutifact, so I could maybe get some insightful treasure to help leveling up. And out of the 11 Clutifacts I got, 2 insightful treasures. I mean, I guess I'll take that over nothing. I used them up on Goku and Koga, and did the same for Statue of Clunibus 4, in my opinion the best Blaster's T dungeon. Not only do you get insightful treasures, but also Forbidden Fruit, basically the 2 best items you can get from Blaster's T. On top of that we have Kabuking, a lightning attribute Okai was planning on using. We had to fight the Wobber here, and I got 17 Clutifacts, 9 Forbidden Fruits, 3 insightful treasures, and 5 Kabukings. I replaced Metallics with one of the Kabukings and leveled them up with the insightful treasures. I wanted to then start grinding for Devas since I felt now was a good time before I do Pyramid of Clue. I scanned some QR code for Deva tags beforehand just because I don't want this challenge to take multiple more weeks, especially since I only just started Blaster's T and only just gained access to obtaining them. So I spent another half hour going for Noah Woken first, since he'd make getting Enema Woken easier. I unfortunately didn't get him here, but I was planning on just getting all the devils off stream anyway, since it's boring and takes really long. Yeah, I'm still called Reaver, so... It'll be confusing to people who didn't know it was originally just called Mix. Wow guys, not great job you're doing there. Just standing there. Well, whilst he's stunned. You're doing a great job there. Wow, yeah. Alright. I managed to get Enma-Woken in 8 attempts, and he was all woken 15, which isn't too bad. As well as Walls had to rename them. We called Kabukin Chaotix, Enma-Woken Raijin, and of course Hinozal-Woken was named Chat. Raijin and Chat of course replaced Goku and Unclean on the team. Anyway, back to Blasters T. We fought Ogreless in Pyramid of Clue 1 and McCracken 2 in Pyramid of Clue 3. By the way, cult lore is still going on during this. It's gotten to the point where it has its own Discord server now. Now, Pyramid of Clue 5 has He Knows All. If you've played Blasters, you'd know how this could be problematic. This isn't a lightning only specific thing, it's the fact I'm doing this single player. Unlike in Psychic Blasters or even the main Yokai Watch 3, the only way of getting rid of He Knows All's barrier is to get the employees to shoot it. Doesn't seem too bad until you realise that the AI teammates will kill the employees even when set to attack the boss. Not to mention that even when the employees stay alive, they can still target the AI teammates, which will likely not be anywhere near He Knows All's barrier, or be in the way of the shots, blocking them from hitting the barrier, letting him heal to full. See the problem? At first I tried doing things normally just to see how it went. I wanted to try and see if I could kill him before he puts up his barrier, and I did get quite close, but he did power up almost immediately, not even giving me a chance to break the barrier, and even did it again almost immediately after. I then tried again, but this time with an aura that boosts strength, so I could maybe kill him this time before he puts up the barrier, because I did get quite close last time. But we still weren't quick enough. I did it even earlier this time, and once again almost immediately did power nap. I then tried going solo, so no AI teammates could mess me up. The one problem here is I forgot to bring healing items, and I obviously never brought any healers. I then realised that the employees can still shoot He Knows All, and do damage to him even before he puts up his barrier. So my new plan was to go all in on dodging attacks and getting the employees to shoot He Knows All. And somehow, with very low HP and no more getaway Darumas, I did it. For those who never made it past He Knows All here, there you go, there's your strategy. You just need to be decent at dodging. Now time for Pyramid of Clue 6. The not really final dungeon of Blasters T, where he fought the final boss, the Goldfather. It wasn't too bad other than the fact Koga ascended near the end. Before doing anything else, I decided to do the next quest, which unlocks Emma Palace. I fought Umbrella Enma, went to Emma Villa, then fought Umbrella Enma again, this time with Lord Enma. This doesn't count, it's not cheating. Then again, but with Enma Woken. And now we've unlocked Emma Palace, but before that, we need to do all the Cluefinks dungeons. Cluefinks Clenched Paw, Cluefinks Raised Paw, and Cluefinks Spade Mouth. We fought Hoggles in Cluefinks Clenched Paw 1, Furious Jane in Clenched Paw 3, Hans Galore in Raised Paw 1, Hardy Hound in Raised Paw 3, Orcanus in Spade Mouth 1, and ended the stream after Spade Mouth 3, because I didn't realise there was more. That's a very small dungeon. This got to be the smallest Blasters T dungeon I've ever seen. There's just one room. Off stream I grinded some more Insightful Treasures and leveled up a bit. I don't think I mentioned this on the stream, but I also finished the rest of Cluefinks Spade Mouth, which just consisted of Yell's Kitchen again and then Mass Mutterer. My plan for today was to get through Enma Palace and defeat the remaining Blasters T bosses from Forbidden Dungeons. 1 and 2 had no bosses, and Captain Thunder was fought in Enma Palace 3. We fought serious Captain Thunder in Enma Palace 4, but not without everyone except me dying, so I had to do half of it solo. Next was Shogun King in Enma Palace 5, who was unfortunately way easier than expected. Finally was Holy Moly in Enma Palace 6. It wasn't actually too bad. In order to unlock the final 3 Deva dungeons, you need to beat Enma Palace 7, which is a dastardly dungeon consisting of 45 floors. First attempt, I accidentally left after 10 floors. Second attempt, I lost after 25 floors to Unkeen and Unkind. Now was a good time to bring out the second healer strat. I was going to use Sonic Chew considering I had already used him and he was a higher rank, but chat wanted me to use Eggman, so I leveled him up, raised his rank with prestigious treasures, and replaced Chaotix on the team. Attempt 3, I almost lost to Shadow Vault and Dark QB 40 floors in, but luckily, after probably over an hour, I died on the last floor instead, to the Oni friend forms. Well, I wasn't doing that again, I decided to do it off stream as well as getting Infinite Enema. For now though, I just did the rest of the Blasters T bosses from Forbidden Dungeons. Most of these are question mark T level, so I can just take off my equipment and re-equip it when I enter the dungeon. We beat Icar Soul Cleaver, and the Lastest Nyanrai. That was all for Blaster's Tea on stream. At least for now. Wow, no Cluty facts. At all. Shouldn't even get to use ultimate. No Cluty fact. What did I say? Did I not say that? I'm gonna get no Cluty fact. 0. Nothing. I beat Emma Pal 7 and got Infinite Enma off stream and changed the team. So we now have Chaotix, Goku, Chat, Infinite Enma, Raijin, and Eldorago. First thing I did was name Infinite Enma and Eldorago. Named them Dio and Ria, respectively. I then began looking for your criminals and caught Counterfeit. That was the only one available at the moment, but luckily that was enough for Matsumoto to show up, and we destroyed him with this new OP team. I then started the Deadpool quest where I had to befriend 6 more yokai. Unkind was part of the Wicked quest, and in order to get her, I need to first do the Chocobo Nyan quest to get an egg. After winning the race on my second try, I got the Unreal Egg and befriended Unkind. Next was Bizarria. There are 2, technically 3 ways to get Bizarria. Obviously we fused Frosina with the Glacial Clip, which can be gotten either from the Crank-Kai or an Aura dungeon. Alternatively, you can just straight up get Bizarria from said Aura dungeon. Obviously the Crank-Kai is out of the question since I would like Deadpool today, and there's not always going to be a Glacial Clip available in the Crank-Kai, so Blaster's Tea it is. The annoying thing here is that because it's an Aura dungeon, we can't have any other auras on, plus the fact we can't use Treasure Pass or Recuperate means we have no way of increasing Clutifact odds. Great! First attempt, 5 Clutifacts, nothing. Meanwhile my chat was making news headlines such as local gang becomes depressed after not being able to find anything of use. The local gang in question being the Japanese ruler of the underworld but more powerful, random Odin chef, the CEO of level 5 but more powerful, and robot performer. Attempt 2, literally 0 Clutifacts. I then tried doing the Crank-Kai, but of course nothing. I then decided to move on and come back later. Next was Smogmella, who evolves from Smogling, who I got from the old mansion. Next was Everfor, who, like Bizarria, is also found in an Aura Blaster Tea dungeon, so I saved her for later. Now for Insomni, who we got from Treason South mod. Finally is Myrmidonna, who we get by fusing Mermaiden with a Mermaid Pearl. We got Mermaiden from the river in Shopper's Row, whilst it was raining, and the Mermaid Pearl from What to Find. Now back to Bizarria. Attempt 3. 1 Clutifact. Nothing. I then tried the one for Everfor and got 3 Ageless Powder from 3 Clutifacts. Back to Bizarria again. Attempt 4. 3 Clutifacts. 1 Glacial Clip. Finally. I befriended Frostina from behind Frosty's place and Grumbles from under Cars Not Down Springdale, fused them with their respective fusion items, and boom. Now we have all the yokai for Deadpool, who may I remind you comes at level 69. We named him Ryan and replaced Goku. I know Goku is important to the team and he will return later, but for now, I'd rather use yokai I haven't used before. I then used an Aura to activate Terror Time to fight the Onis. You thought they were weak in Yokai Watch 2? Well, it's even worse here. At least they have more unique moves and stuff here though. Gargos was easy, Ogulus was harder but still not too bad, and Arcanos was of course the most difficult, but nothing we couldn't handle. After beating the Onis, I went to the Plungos quest, and it still isn't there. Weird. Turns out I just need to go to the post office and get an item. I could have done this way earlier, that would have been useful to know before. Why are you only telling me this now, chat? After beating Gargos again, Terror Time, I went to Yopo, then head to New Yokai City, and fought Plungos. Since this quest was obviously intended for a much lower level, Plungos was a breeze. Alright, let's try and get the sand suit then. Do you guys see that? The cat... Is it the cat? Before the Tower's Enlightenment, there are 2 bosses left. He Knows All and He Knows All Woken. For the He Knows All quest, you infamously need Mr. Sanma, which you need to get the sand suit from the lottery for. I would have just done this off stream since it can take a while and be a bit boring, but if I did, then the stream would be very short. I checked the lottery and would you look at that, it's a sand suit. I slept until it was the last day for the sand suit. I needed 15 lottery tickets and I only had 7. Should be fine, let me just befriend Green Grant for the bathboard and the scrapyard. And I can just trade in my trash for a lottery wait, where are they? Turns out they only added lottery tickets here in the update. And I deleted the update in order to scan QR code for forbidden fruits and Deva tags. So I had to download the update midstream. An error occurred when trying to download the update normally or from the eShop. So I just had to re-download it from the H-Shop. I mean the newer version of the eShop that has a completely different UI, definitely. All of this for a Mr. Sandman. I know I probably could have grinded flippets instead, but I'd rather just do this. Thankfully, lottery tickets only cost 2 trash, so I was able to get more than enough. By the way, cult lore has still been going on in the chat every stream since Zombie Night, and it continues to be in almost every stream up until somewhat recently, or most of it's taking place on the Discord server. Anyway, I got the Sandsuit and Sandman from Mount Wildwood and fused them to get Mr. Sandman. I started the Heroes All quest by going up the business tower late at night, activating the Mr. Sandman battleboard and going up 50 billion flights of stairs. I did an interview with Heroes All and then fought him. Luckily, unlike in Blasters, I don't need to just bring one yokai to beat him this time. The strategy for the Heroes All in the main game is keep at least one employee alive until he puts up his barrier. Well, that usually works when he doesn't immediately go for power nap after putting up the barrier, not even give me a chance to kill the employee. Come on. Don't loaf. This is the worst time to be loafing. This is the worst possible time to be loafing. Oh my. But I was supposed to magically know that it would do that right then and there so I could kill the employee beforehand and risk the one and only gun being destroyed. At least when he has 2 employees, I usually just kill one of them in case something like that were to happen. But nope, he summoned Gilgros instead. Well, at least we do good damage to him, so it shouldn't take too much longer to get back where we were. There we go. And he puts up a shield right before he dies. Maybe I should have kept Sephiroth. Oh, fuck. Are you... He healed a fool. And he heals the fool. I didn't even know that it was always the fool, since in Blaster it's only usually like half HP. Brilliant. Another close call. He was almost dead, but I decided to kill an employee just in case, and would you look at that, perfect timing. The fight wasn't too hard, just really f***ing annoying. After that, I finally evolved Tackle Cat into Nandi by fusing him with Mr. Sandman. Now for the Heroes All Woken quest. Went back and forth between Yoppel and the business tower, which includes going up and down the 50 billion flights of stairs. I also came across a rhythm minigame. By far these things are what I get the most comments about, saying, "Can you make a video on this?" or "Do you know about this?" And I always reply to these comments with the same thing, and hopefully me mentioning it here will give me a few less comments to reply to. Search up Yokai Watch Rhythm minigames in Japanese on YouTube, just use Google Translate. Alright, I'll even link the video in the description which showcases all of them. If you're looking for something more, then I don't know what to tell you, there isn't much more to it. The one I happen to get is a remix of New Yokai City, or should I say New Yokai City is a remix of this song, since this one was in Yokai Watch 2. And for those wondering, I did not get it perfect, nor did I come anywhere close. I had to then befriend Miradox by fusing Mirapole from Excellent Tower and SP for Nocturne Hospital. Back to Yoppel to fight Heroes All Woken. Thankfully this time I did manage to successfully break his barrier, and I never even charged up Power Nap. Much easier. After that we befriended Heroes All, who we named Otchet. I had absolutely no faith that I'd beat the Zen Lightner, considering how the boss rushes in Yokai Watch 2 went. For those who don't know, once you get to the boss in the Tower of Enlightenment, you have no access to items, meaning your only way of healing is now positive spirits and skills from yokai like Illuminok. I of course got any insightful treasures and also trained up Matt and Yan a bunch, and even got all the parts except the face, which you get from Hazy Lane. I gave him Healer Moon as a skill for more healing, and Lovely Meow as a backup for healing. I also got the Anima Blade for Raijin. Despite the fact I didn't think I would beat it, I thought I might as well go all in and see how far I could get, which is why I've been using the Devas, because I thought that might be our only chance. Oh no, I don't have Twirly Pie. What am I gonna do here, guys? Remember when we cheesed this fight with Twirly Pie? It was funny. This was it. The finale. Of not only Yokai Watch 3 Lightning Only, but Lightning Only as a whole. I put Goku and Matian on the team and replaced Rhea and Ryan. I leveled up everyone till 99, and equipped an aura that passively heals the whole team. Of course the first 5 floors were easy as usual, nothing noteworthy. Now, floor 6, Slackolite, our first boss with no items. I wasn't even sure if I'd even get past this guy. Here we go. Huh? This actually isn't that bad. Easy, one might say. Floor 7, Chirpalite, more of the same. Floor 8, Duolite, once again, pretty easy. Floor 9, now time for Orcolite. I kinda thought I might be able to beat those other 3, but I knew there was no chance I was being Orcolite, because the original Arcanos was already a bit challenging. But wasn't too bad due to items. Here we go. For the last few bosses weren't as hard as I was expecting, but I mean this is Orcolite, you know? Okay, maybe we actually can beat Orcolite. That was like nothing. Yeah, this healing is actually really good. Oh, how underwhelming. I always kinda thought he was weaker than regular Arcanos, but this basically confirms it. That and my yokai are just that much tougher. We somehow did it, though chat did die, though luckily you can still use miracle medicine to heal in between fights. Well, here we are. Floor 10. The Zen Lightner, the final boss of Lightning Attribute only. After the Orcolite battle, I went from Zen Lightner is impossible to there's a chance that this is possible. Heck, I even titled the stream and not beating the Zen Lightner. That's how little confidence I originally had. Well, here we go. Holy sh**, this is possible. The attack still did quite a bit of damage, but the triple or even quadruple passive healing is way too OP. I got to around half HP and... Showcase Pinball, so sorry. Blinking red. No, I'm screwed. I'm screwed. There's nothing I'm screwed. There's nothing I could have done there. Or no, I could have switched. I could have switched. Give me a supernova. Sorry, Chaotix. I know we can tank this probably. And he suddenly managed to tank it. Wow. Yeah. I forgot it gives you 90. Yeah, 99 wait time. This is bad. Oh, you died. Oh, shoot. I'm screwed. Gun. Alright, I can do this. Well... There we go. I can do this. Okay. One more attempt. Another attempt. Well, I knew this was now somehow possible. The Enlightener is the last boss I need to complete Lightning Attribute only. I knew at this point I had to beat him no matter what. Attempt number 2. We made it back to floor 10 pretty easily. Everything has been leading up to this, from initially cancelling it, starting streaming, losing to Mass Face, the various camera fails, learning Chirpster's gimmick, losing my mind over Flushback, accidentally quitting to title, cult lore and all the funny chat moments, beating Cat Cradle and Yokai Watch 1 Arcanos, cheating Super Manager, getting brutal, beating the rest of the Tower's Enlightenment, and everything else I haven't mentioned. When I first started this series, I never thought I would get this far. Enough of that, let's get to the fight. My team setup was Chaotix at the front as a tank, Goku in the middle to passively heal, and Chat in the back to utilise the highest spirit stat in the game. I try and keep this formation when I can, but often I need to change in order to avoid attacks. I also use a gun whenever I can, even though it doesn't do much. Obviously green red is our main threat, so I can't move unless I'm dodging an attack, as to not get screwed by green red. If I somehow can, then I need to quickly switch in another yokai. Alright, we've made it further than last time, let's keep it up. I switched an Infinite Enma to replace Chat as I realised he only has 1 cooldown compared to Chat's 6, which is a massive help with green red. I unfortunately had to sacrifice Chaotix near the end to Daruma Supernova, and he survived, so we got 99 move timer. He was nearly dead and the gun was ready and I got high. After all that... And I got his highs again, I'm getting really lucky. There we go. Alright, sorry guys for the clickbait, I really need to change the title. I clickbaited you, I committed a really bad crime. It's sad. I kept saying this last week, that's just sad. And you're like, oh wow, I did it, wow, haha. This was a huge accomplishment. Everyone in chat was congratulating me, but I was unsure how to feel. Part of me felt a little disappointed. If it was possible, which it was, I kinda hoped it would be more difficult, but honestly, it was kind of easy. Yes, the fight was fun and probably the most difficult boss we've faced in this game, but somehow I felt dissatisfied. Like I had made the game too easy for myself by using the devils and all this passive healing. Like I had somehow cheated, even though there was no way of knowing how difficult this fight would be, nor does any of what I did go against the rules. There was one more thing I wanted to do though before ending it off. Boss rushes. We breezed through Quick 3 and Wonder 4, and Dreamy 4 was also extremely easy. Same with Super 5. Hyper 8 had Hinozol, so you can probably guess how that went. It doesn't need to be in the middle. I don't think so. Why would it need to be in the middle? It needs to be in the middle! What do you mean it needs to be in the middle? That's BS. We still of course won though. It also had the Onis, which unlike in Yokai Watch 2 were actually kinda easy. As for the Sukiyaki 4, well, I hadn't unlocked it since I never finished the Robinyan quest. Oh well, I wasn't bothered to finish it, and seeing how the Enlightener went, I've no doubt I would have beaten it anyway. Well, that was Yokai Watch 3 Lightning Only. An unfortunately disappointing end to the Lightning Only series as a whole, but I guess I would rather this than the Enlightener actually being impossible. I hope you enjoyed this series, because I definitely did, mostly. Will I do Blasters? No. Will I do the other Yokai Watch games? No, because I haven't played them. So what's my next big series then after this? You probably already know, but if you don't, I guess you'll wait to find out. Also, this is the first video edited with my new editing software, so let me know how this is. It'll probably be worse, but you know, I'm still getting used to it, so hopefully it'll be better by the next video. As usual, like us if you like this and want to see more, and comment your favourite moment from the series. Shoutouts to my members, and Ricardo Astley, Help Studios, Redactivism, Sandwich Metal, Opal Kitsune, King Slinky, Black Samurai, Tabby Dia, Hyper, Cuplock, The Dumbass and Tiger Squad, AS Sekai, Radis Edwards, Not Wait, Megamaster, Max010, Coma Treatment, Red Roy XCD, I probably said that wrong, Josu Barossa, I probably also said that wrong, Spyro Dan, Epic Alien, Endo Forget, and Amber Irons. And I'll see you in the next one.